You know what I hate most about when a anime season ends? I usually hate the final episodes because sometimes series don't get wrapped up. But one thing I hate about when anime are starting to end from a season, for instance, what we have now, Winter of Anime season's finally wrapping up. What I hate the most is the episodes right before the final episode. That's the episodes I really fucking hate. Not because they're bad, I'm just saying I hate because the cliffhangers are usually terrible. Very fucking terrible. Probably some of the worst fucking cliffhangers of the series. And there's been so many fucking anime episodes with some crazy cliffhangers this week. And this right here, it's setting me over the edge right now. Fucking Ranta fighting on top of wood, like a big pile of wood, throwing shit at the werewolf type things. I know they're not exactly werewolves, someone corrected me in the comments below, but still, you had it to where Ranta was fighting, and that right there, when he is left by himself, of course his entire team's trying to find another well to go down and save him, but when he's left there, and he's fighting, I'm like, he's gonna fucking die. I mean, was that last episode foreshadowing to this very situation? Because let me kind of talk about the dialogue you said. It's not going to be exact word for word, but I want to mention it, and it's very similar. Remember when Ranta was talking to our MC and saying that you need to be able to fight solo, because sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have to fight by yourself, and you're not going to have anyone to back you up? That's what Ranta said. And it was, but the entire point of the last week's episode was like teamwork, Ranta fitting in, and like his reason for not being able to fit in. But with this episode, it seems like that entire teamwork thing, that dispute they had, it's kind of pushed to the side a little bit. Ranta's kind of opening up a little bit, but the entire part where he said that sometimes he'll be in a situation where you have to fight by yourself, I feel like that was foreshadowing for this very moment. He's gonna have to fight a bunch of enemies at once, and to be honest, I don't think Ranta's gonna live. I really don't. I gotta be honest here. I just do not think he will live. I mean, it's the final episode. Next week is the final episode. If I'm correct, I think, yeah, Grimgar is ending next week. If so, I don't know. Actually, thinking about it, a lot of anime tend to save characters that are in this type of situation for the final episode. Now that I do think about it, there is a possibility Ranta is fine. But, I mean, it just, after what we got in this episode of finding out that Ranta couldn't even fight a thief solo by himself because he was going to lose, it makes me believe that he is going to lose. Because, I mean, you have all these different creatures coming at him. I mean, you have, like, the death spot coming at him. There's no way in fuck Ranta could fight that. Unless he could summon hordes of undead and shit and demons and stuff. I just don't think he's going to win. So, I truly believe that they're not going to be able to make it in time. Because according to what we found out from our characters before they get to Ranta again, they're like, okay, we got to go back up to the 3rd level, we got to recoup, and then we got to go back down to where he's at before we can help him out. And when you see that, you're like, fuck, there's a very good possibility time they finally get back down, he's gonna be dead as fuck. Because, I mean, right now, he can't really leave his spot. He's fighting on top of a mountain of wood, slinging shit, fighting. They have bows and arrows. What's gonna stop that fucking death spot from jumping up there and just start slicing at Ranta and pushing him down the entire, scaffolding? I mean, what's gonna happen? Well, what's gonna stop that creature from doing that? So, it's looking very grim. that pun though, Grimgar, grim. But anyways, it's looking very grim for Ranta. I wonder if he is going to die or not. I mean, it's the final episode next week. There is a very likely possibility he might be fine, but there is always that possibility he could die too, because I mean, we have seen the character die, but Monato's death though was kind of more of signifying leadership status or working better as a team. So I can't really consider that as if there is no plot armor to characters. I can't really consider it like that. The same circumstances like something like Gundam. So we'll just have to see. If Ranta does die, I'll have to look at it differently. But for now, though, I believe he'll be fine, but it's still kind of grim for his situation at this moment. Now, besides that, however, when it came to a lot of the other scenes of this episode, getting to see, like, Mary, confront her previous teammates, and she had to, dispel the curse on them because they were walking around as undead, it was very sad, and it reminded me a lot of the Lich King. And now, I mention the Lich King a lot when it comes to stuff like this, especially when it comes to undead and stuff, because, as I've said many times over, the Lich King is one of my personal favorite villains in gaming. And seeing these zombies and stuff, and how there was, like, the no-life king controlling them and the curse bringing them back, I wonder I know we're not going to get it in the anime, but I wonder if the No Life King is kind of similar to the Lich King, because that's something I'm very curious about. For the No Life King to have this curse where he could bring all bodies back to life and then use them and control them and stuff, and we clearly saw that some form of a soul was there once the curse was dispelled, because you saw the warrior guy grab the back of Mary's head, and it was kind of like he was saying farewell, even though he didn't say nothing. We saw his body movements, and clearly something was there. He knew, or he was aware of his actions. And because of this, it makes me wonder if it's a very similar circumstance as the Lich King, how he controls people even after death and imprisons their soul in their own body. I'm curious. But besides that, though, episode was very good. I like getting to see Mary finally come to terms with the loss of her teammates. She finally did what she had to do, and now that entire issue is kind of pushed to the side, and Mary's kind of done with that part of her past. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.